At number 10, Amanda Lepore. I love unapologetic people. I find it so refreshing when people are truly themselves and aren't afraid to hide anything, and I think that's what I like the most about Amanda Lepore. Amanda Lepore is a transgender model, performer, and now author who made a name for herself in Hollywood just by being herself. She's known for having a very signature look, and she's basically become a living Barbie doll. Much of Amanda's body has been altered over the years, as she claims to have the most expensive body on the planet due to all of her surgeries. It's not clear how much she spent exactly, but judging by how she looks and the fact that she's been calling her body the most expensive on earth, I think it's safe to say that she's invested a lot of money into herself. She's written and talked about all the procedures that she's had done, and it's quite a long list. She's had a nose job, her hairline lowered, her eyebrows lifted, double eyelid surgery, cheekbone, lip and breast augmentation, gender confirmation surgery, hormones, and she even had her ribs broken and reshaped to alter the size of her waist. Amanda prides herself on being a living Barbie doll and really doesn't regret any of her procedures, even though they were all very expensive. At number 9, Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner has gone through many transformations in her life. As you all probably know, Caitlyn is transgender, and her transition most likely set her back a pretty hefty amount. While we don't know the exact amount that she spent on her transition, I think it's safe to say that no amount of money even compares to the feeling of having your outside appearance match who you are on the inside. There have been some people out there who have really been curious to see exactly how much Caitlyn has spent on her plastic surgeries over the years, including her confirmation surgeries. It is estimated that Caitlyn has spent approximately $76,000 on her cosmetic surgeries. Between fillers, facelifts, and a handful of other procedures, a lot of money has been invested into Caitlyn's appearance, and the fact that she's dished out $76,000 on these kinds of things shows that she will go to great lengths to make herself look as perfect as she pleases. Again, it is a lot of money, but I can imagine for Caitlyn, it's worth every penny. Now, before I carry on with the list, I would like to take a moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also head on over to my gaming channel, Viper Girl, if you're interested in gaming content. I've got lots of fun things going on over there, so go check it out and subscribe while you're there. At number 8, Justin Jedlicka. Imagine spending over $1 million on yourself, and I don't mean shelling out $1 million on clothes, shoes, and a nice car. Justin Jedlicka, known as the real-life Ken doll, got famous because he received so many plastic surgeries and has spent so much money achieving his goal of becoming a real-life Ken doll. For him, the more plastic he looks, the better, and really that is the exact goal. Justin was on the show Botched very early on in the show's first season, making his debut in the series' first episode. He said that he's received over 1,000 surgeries to achieve the look that he has now, and there's no sign of him stopping his transformation anytime soon. As for how much he spent, well, there's no exact number since his procedures are always happening, but Justin has said that he's invested over $1 million into his looks. Could you imagine spending all that money on plastic surgery? And would you guys ever do something like this? Let me know down in the comments. At number 7, Jocelyn Wildenstein. Imagine spending millions of dollars to look like a cat. Just sit with that one for a second and let that process. Yes, one of the most dramatic celebrity appearances, which comes from socialite Jocelyn Wildenstein, was modeled after a cat and cost over $4 million. Jocelyn started her plastic surgery journey when she decided to get work done to look like a cat because her late husband was a big cat lover. She reportedly kept a lynx as a pet and recalled that the big cat's eyes were just so perfect, and so she wanted to look just like it. Unfortunately, she went a little too far with her look and she's been left looking pretty botched, which is unfortunate seeing how she invested so much money into her looks. What makes this even crazier though is the fact that she claims that she's not done getting plastic surgery, so she's willing to spend even more money on her appearance. At number 6, Donatella Versace. I've talked about Donatella Versace and her plastic surgery a fair bit on this channel. We know how she looks following getting plastic surgery, we know what procedures she's had done, and we know that the results haven't been the greatest. Sometimes going plastic just makes things worse rather than better. But one more question regarding her plastic surgery remains, and that is, how much did it all cost? Well, though there's no exact amount, it is believed that Donatella has spent over $25,000 on trying to improve and maintain her appearance. That is a lot of money, but when you think about the results that she's been left with, it makes that high cost so much worse. She's mostly received facelifts over the years, so to think that she's dropped so much money to only go back and get more work done because the effects didn't last is actually kind of sad. At number 5, Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner is one of those celebrities who's considered a trendsetter. Whenever she steps out with a new piece of clothing or a new hairstyle, people just want to be like her and copy her. Because she's a trendsetter, there's pressure to look perfect all the time, and this is where cosmetic surgery came to play in her life. The one procedure that she's known for having is lip fillers. She became the it girl when it came to the big lip trend, and it even got so intense that people were trying to imitate her large lips by creating the dangerous Kylie Jenner lip challenge. On top of her lip filler, there has been speculation and theories thrown around about what other procedures she's had done. Though she's only admitted to getting fillers, it is also believed that she's gotten work done to her body to achieve the curves that she has, like her Kardashian sisters. Now, because she's never admitted to getting anything done other than her lips, it's hard to say for sure exactly how much her appearance costs, but some people out there have crunched the numbers and estimate that Kylie has spent over $2 million on her plastic surgery transformations. Now that is a lot of lip kits. At number 4, Cher. Cher is really out here like she's never heard of the concept of time. This woman does not age at all, and it's honestly a little scary. Okay, I'm getting a little carried away, but you have to admit, she looks immaculate for a woman in her mid-70s, right? Well, other than her being the queen of everything, she's also invested a lot of money into herself and her looks in order to look as great as she does. Over the years, Cher has received a neck lift, multiple facelifts, cheek implants, breast augmentation, liposuction, Botox, other injectables, and lasers, but even after all of that, people still can't get over how good she looks. She's been able to get all of this work done to look younger, and yet she still doesn't look too plasticky. Well, I would expect nothing but perfection if I was Cher and spent over $1 million on plastic surgery. Yeah, it is a lot of money, but clearly it was money well spent. At number 3, Michael Jackson. The late Michael Jackson lived a hugely successful life, and he was known for a lot, from his music to his stage presence to his looks. Over the course of his career, Michael's appearance changed drastically when he got into plastic surgery. After going under the knife a few times, he was left looking nothing like his past self, and this took a lot of money to achieve. So much so that he ended up in debt because of it. It has been reported that Michael has spent over $1.5 million on plastic surgery. Some of the procedures Michael was known to have received include a nose job, skin lightening to match his vitiligo, as well as reshaping his jaw and altering his lips and eyes. In the end, his physical appearance changed drastically, but his talent remained the same, which is really the important thing here. At number 2, Heidi Montag. Heidi Montag became a star when she was cast on the MTV show The Hills, and since she became a public figure, there was soon a lot of pressure to look a certain way in the industry. Looks are always considered as one of the things that keeps your career afloat, and so there's a lot of pressure to look perfect. Because of the insecurity she was experiencing, both from being a public figure and from her doctor, Heidi ended up going under the knife for 10 plastic surgery sessions in just one day. She got so much work done that the trauma was too much for her body to handle, and she actually flatlined for 1 minute while on the operating table. After all that, when she re-emerged with her new look, people criticized her heavily for it, and Heidi even saw parts of herself as botched. Now, I think the worst part about this whole mess is the fact that she spent so much money on this whole transformation. It is believed that Heidi spent around $10 million on her plastic surgery, and it was all for her just to say that she didn't like it and for the public to make nasty comments. If I spent that much money and I didn't come out with amazing results, I would have been so mad. And finally, at number 1, Kris Jenner. Everyone knows Kris Jenner as Hollywood's hardest working momager. She's been able to raise and manage her kids, helping them grow into the big stars that they are today. The Kardashians are all considered trendsetters when it comes to their looks, so obviously Kris had to join in on the fun, right? Like many of her kids, Kris has undergone a handful of cosmetic surgeries over the years, and she's also shelled out quite a bit of money for it as well. It's been reported that Kris has received a breast augmentation, chin lift, neck lift, facelift, lasers, Botox, and other injectables to create the ageless person that we see today. And all of this comes with a hefty price tag of $70,000. That's a lot of money to turn back time, but Kris looks pretty good and she clearly has the money to do it, so who am I to judge?
Coming at number 10, we have Lea Michele. Back in December, Lea Michele started to go trending on Twitter after the internet started to troll her for her new chiseled facial appearance. When the funny girl actress posted a selfie comparing herself to Lucia, the beautiful working girl on The White Lotus, the internet was then quick to notice her resemblance to another trending character, which is a girl who has undergone buccal fat removal. The cosmetic procedure involves surgically removing fat between the cheekbones and the jawbones via incisions inside the mouth to highlight one's facial bone structure. While people have been doing the surgery for decades, it's currently all the rage with young celebrities and people on TikTok. It takes a normal looking girl and makes them look almost skeletal, which is pretty damaging to a younger person's image. While the surgery isn't everybody's cup of tea, I still don't understand why Hollywood girlies aren't trying to get rid of it and why they keep opting to do it, and it kinda made Lea Michele look more scary than her Rachel Berry days on Glee. Number 9, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian has been pretty open about her physical transformation, and unlike her other sisters, she claimed that she has undergone plastic surgery more than once in her life. While the reality TV star isn't too outspoken when it comes to her past procedures, she has opened up once before about the reason behind her choice to undergo the knife. In a reunion episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe revealed that she opted for a few cosmetic alterations by saying, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she had a third face transplant, but I've had one nose job." Aside from her nose job, the Good American founder has also revealed she has done injections, but not really Botox because she responded horribly Botox. Khloe, like Kylie, has also gotten so much filler done at one point. She even went back 3 times to get it dissolved, but it still feels like the effects are still there. But for a while, the star did look a little scary with all that filler. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley was a legendary beauty, but when she underwent plastic surgery in the past, it left her with some unfortunate side effects. It would force her to come out and claim that she unknowingly had industrial low-grade silicone injected into her face by a doctor who wasn't even licensed to practice medicine in the United States. Priscilla was one of many victims who fell into the hands of Dr. Daniel Serranoez. In 2008, a rep of the actress would share that an investigation which uncovered his misconduct ultimately led to his imprisonment. Miss Presley dealt with this matter years ago, and eventually everything is now well. Serrano, who was not licensed to practice medicine, would find himself being deported back to Argentina after serving 18 months in federal prison, after some of his injections caused lumps, paralysis, and holes in his client's face. But the work he did to Priscilla definitely had her wishing that she never underwent the surgery, and she never even tried to have it repaired as she was kinda scared it would do more harm than good. Number 7, Janice Dickinson. It's clear that Hollywood's obsession with plastic surgery is starting to get really scary. And if you look what happened to Janice Dickinson after she made an attempt to keep her youthful appearance, people would even start to confuse her with Caitlyn Jenner. After she had a botched procedure done, even according to celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Anthony Yoon, Janice had every plastic surgery procedure there is. And that's not really hard to believe, as once the stunning model now looks like she is pure plastic. And I've seen her undergo some treatments on reality TV. Dr. Yoon would then jokingly add, "I believe she's undergone pretty much every facial plastic surgery there is, including a facelift, eye lift, lip injections, Botox, fat injections, a brow lift, and she's probably single-handedly paid for her plastic surgeon's house." Despite Janice going under the knife numerous times, Yoon said while Janice doesn't look a whole lot like herself, she's holding up pretty well and she's had quite a bit of help. In 2014, Janice would even admit when she was 32, or in the Jurassic era, that's when she had her first procedure done, and it included work to her chest, a tummy tuck, facelift, and Botox. At number 6, we have Linda Evangelista. The OG supermodel hasn't been seen in public for a while now, and in September 23rd, 2021, she would explain why. Linda revealed that she underwent cool sculpting, which she claims left her looking unrecognizable, as it allegedly caused her fat cells in her face to multiply, and she would say, "To my followers who have wondered wondered why I have not been working while my peers' careers have been thriving. The reason is that I was brutally disfigured by a procedure which did the opposite of what it promised. She then went on to talk about the procedure's rare but serious side effects, and she said not only did it destroy my livelihood, but it sent me into a cycle of depression, profound sadness, and lowest depths of self-loathing. In the process, I have become reclusive, and I'm so tired of living this way. I would like to walk out my door with my head held high despite not looking like myself any longer. However, if you look at photos from Linda from 2005 to now, before her procedure disfigured her famous face, the girl was stunning. And if you are looking to get plastic surgery done in the future, let this be a warning and just a reminder that you're beautiful just the way you look. Number 5, Mickey Rourke. Since the beginning of his career, Mickey Rourke has captured the news headlines every now and then, and one of the most talked about things about him is his face. Today, everyone knows Mickey to be an actor of repute who has starred in many successful movies over the years, but it is essential to understand that acting was not Mickey's first love, as he's a man who was in love with boxing and he eventually became a professional boxer. And he did pretty well because he was unbeaten in all his fights as he won and drew others. However, he endured a lot of injuries to his face, and some of these injuries were so severe that they threatened to ruin his good looks, so he opted to have cosmetic surgery to fix his face. However, the doctors he met to help him fix his face just ended up ruining it. His face today is now very different from what his fans had known it to be, and anytime he steps into the public, paparazzi just swarms his face. While the star has undergone different cosmetic surgeries to correct his face, it just keeps changing and it keeps renewing the public's interest. Number 4, Joan Rivers. Comedian Joan Rivers was famous for constantly changing her face. When the reality TV star passed away at the age of 81, her daughter Melissa would write a memoir, The Book of Joan, tales of mirth, mischief, and manipulation. As a tribute to her mother, in it Melissa would reveal that Joan had a staggering 348 cosmetic operations over her life, and she was never happy with the way she looked, which fed into her sense of being less than. Joan Rivers' tragic passing was caused after she had complications following her surgery, after the comedian never recovered from a loss of oxygen to her brain during surgery. Her daughter would then be able to sue the clinic for malpractice. It would be noted that Joan went into the hospital after she scheduled an EGD. However, reports then showed another procedure, a nasolaryngoscopy, which was performed twice by an ENT doctor not privileged to perform that procedure at Yorkville, and Rivers was never informed or consented to that procedure. Number 3, Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace's designs for Versace may have sparked thousands of copycats, but there is no danger of a woman following suit when it comes to Donatella Versace's new look. 30 years ago, the fashion guru had naturally full lips and smooth skin, but today her face is striking for all the wrong reasons, as she has now turned herself into a real-life human waxwork doll after she overdid Botox and added too much filler to her cheeks and lips. Not to mention, the businesswoman has also had a facelift and eyes and brow lift. And if you look at her face, you can tell that her eyelids are like a little droopy because she had some bad Botox, and that's why they look droopy. It's also been said that she looks like she may have had some filler added to her earlobes, as they looked very stretched. Dr. David Rappaport has also provided a timeline of Donatella's alleged procedures, where he would point out that it seems clear that the designer has had a facelift, as she has a scar that you can see on her temple areas, and she has a fine linear scar from it. He would also note that her hairline has been lifted too high and it shouldn't end that high above her ears, but this could also indicate that she's gone under the knife for more than one procedure. Number 2, Carrot Top. Comedian king of props Scott Carrot Top Thompson has had to deal with a lot of plastic surgery rumors and before and after surgery photos, but despite the hundreds of sources saying he underwent the knife to change his looks, the comedian says he hasn't had work done on him, but it's clearly just a lie. So Carrot Top is one of these most successful comedians from the late 90s and 2000s. Aside from comedy, one of the most talked about topics whenever Carrot Top is brought up is about his looks, and people start to debate whether the star has had plastic surgery done or not. Although various sources sources have tried exploring his transformation to put an answer to the question, the comedian still continues to deny all the rumors that revolve around him undergoing the knife to change his looks. And to this day, the comedian still has to deal with plastic surgery rumors, as the media has been swamped with before and after photos of the star. Many have even compared his transformation to plastic surgery disasters, and some professionals have even commented on it, such as Dr. Anthony Yoon, who pointed out that the comedian has definitely had laser treatments or chemical peels, and he even commented on Carrot Top's appearance by saying he looks more like a muscle-bound cartoon character. Number 1. Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim is undoubtedly one of the brightest, most influential women in hip-hop, yet her legacy remains controversial for one reason or the other. It seems like the star is constantly being thrown in front of the media since the beginning of her career for her ever-changing face. In 2005, Kim would even go on a radio show to explain that she had broken her nose after getting into an altercation with her ex-boyfriend, and she had to get surgery done to fix her nose, and then she would go back to her boyfriend, get hurt again, and it would reel her into a tangle of insecurities and self-loathing. Kim was so tired of lying about her injuries and burying her bruises in makeup that she thought it would be better to get professional work done and wipe those physical markings away once and for all. And then after, she would get more surgeries done by her own choice, as she was facing insecurities after her boyfriends kept cheating on her with European women with long hair.